you know what the funny thing is, though? This is the funny thing, and I talk about this sometimes about you, is that people that are around you, like me, other comedians, we don't think, like, we go, holy shit, that's a lot, but we don't realize that you're fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, oh, I guess he just is fine. And like, I had to ask you one time, I was like, do you not get fucked up? And you're like, I just had 3 panic attacks. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I was like, you seem like it's not affecting you. And you're like, oh, no, it's totally fucked up. I was like, oh, okay. But your tolerance was just...
My tolerance was it was getting to the point where I would eat like 100 milligram capsule, and I would be high for 2 hours. And then I'd give a capsule to you, and you'd call me after a 4-hour flight. 6 hours later, you're still fucking high. And I'm like, something's not right.
Yeah, man. You had me fucked up. I'm not kidding you. I took a pill from you on
12:30, 12:15?
No, earlier.
Oh, you took it earlier.
I took it earlier. I took it like before your 10 o'clock show. So like 9:30, I took that pill. I was completely out of my mind for, let's say, 16, 18 hours. But I was still high that night, the following night. And the next morning, I was like hungover. So I was pretty much fucked up for like 30 hours, you know? And you were like, you were on 10 times the amount.
Josh Wolf said he ate 2 of them one night. And he was driving back from San Diego. He goes, he was going to do the show in San Diego and drive back. He said he went to his room and he goes, I'm just going to lay down on this bed for 2 minutes and get my composure before I get in the car. He said he woke up the next morning in that position like he was dead with his arms up. He goes, he just opened his eyes and he looked down. He had his sneakers on. The light was on. The TV was on.
You know what we never talked about? We never talked about this. When I came to see you, so I did my show and I came to see you. I drove across town after, and I go to your show. I had Mike Cronin, who's another comedian, with me. And you had told us, you know, these are 10s. And so I took mine, and then I go, you know, he's with me. He's a comic. I go, can I give Mike one? You're like, yeah. So I'm like, you want one? He goes, yeah. So he took it. Now, for whatever reason, for our own body composition, I get fucked up like pretty quickly. Like within 2 hours, I know that I'm completely fucked. And you and we leave, and when I leave, he's not fucked up. So he goes, I just thought, Tom, you were just such a lightweight. Because I was like, I can't believe he's fucked up. It didn't hit, you know, edibles, like sometimes they hit people at a different time, right? So when I left, I also remember thinking, like, I can't believe I'm this fucked up, and Mike is like sober. He's like, fine. So you and I leave, and we get on our flight to go home. I'm fucked up, you know, for the next whatever, like 2 days. Well, after that, I finally call Mike, and I go, hey, man, yeah, I mean, so did that not affect you? He goes, dude. He goes, you guys left, and I go, wow, Tom's such a lightweight. I go back to the hotel, and he goes, it starts to hit me. I end up sleeping on the bathroom floor next to the toilet, telling myself not to jump off the building. Because I kept hearing something say, you need to jump off the balcony. And I go, what? He goes, dude, I thought I was going to kill myself. And I was like, holy shit. And he goes, then I wake up the next morning, like you said, I wake up in the bathroom on the floor, sleeping on the marble floor. He goes, I get in the car and I have to drive. He's in Miami. He has to drive to his parents' place in Tampa. He goes, I'm fucked up the whole way, the whole drive. And when I get there, it's evening. My parents are having dinner. So I sit down for dinner and he goes, I have dinner with them and I can't really talk. I'm still like just too fucked up. So then I go to my room and he goes, and my mom texts me, is everything okay? You don't seem like yourself. So it fucked him up for like 2 days too. It just started like 2 hours later.
So think about that. If it was fucking people up for 2 days,
yeah,
it was fucking me up for 2 hours.
That's crazy.
That's not normal.
No,
that's not normal. And I'm
no. Well, we all were like, Joey's not normal.
And I'm ashamed. and you know, so I gave you the edible. you called me at lunchtime, and I could tell there was a little anger in your voice.
Oh, yeah.
And then that night, Rogan calls me, and he's like, what'd you do to Tom, dog? And he's the one, he's like, this shit's got to end. I'm getting too many complaints about you. People are freaking out. He goes, you got to stop. And then we started laughing together. Like, as he was telling me the story, he was like, you can't do that to Tom. He's your brother. I go, he was fine. I go, it was fucking 10 milligrams. He's like, it's not 10. It's 100. There were 200s. Yeah. But my take from that night, the best part of that night was after I got off stage, I'm fired up. You know, when you got to imagine, when you go on stage, all that shit disappears from my world.
Bro, I'll say this, you fucking murdered.
Now you understand.
Murdered.
Now think about that. Think about what I had in my body and what I went on stage and did. It disappears when I go on stage.
It is wild.
It disappears. I was in such an animal mode as a stand-up that I had to tame myself back sometimes. And the only way I knew by doing it was by taking 600 milligrams. You got to remember one thing, and this is my secret, and I'm giving it to the world now. I think I told it before. Before I would leave for the Comedy Store, I'd do 4 cups of Cuban coffee, 4 Cuban espressos. You're not going to stop that. I would do one of those at 8:15. A 4
so you show up ready to go.
I'm showing up ready to rip your fucking head off. I'm showing up on when you drink that much espresso and you have that much caffeine in your system, Cuban style, with no sugar. I won't put sugar in it. I just drink it like that strong. You're already teetering on blowing up your anxiety.
Yeah.
When you drink that strength of coffee at one shot like that, you're already teetering at that anxiety level. So while I'm driving down the hill to the Comedy Store, my head's already fucking flying. I'm fucking flying. So I would have to take an edible to tame the animal down. 400 milligrams. You know, I just became, you know, for me to do that on stage, I got to do that all day.
Yeah.
I got to be at that RPM all day, revving. When I get up at fucking 7 in the morning and my dick is in my hand and I'm pissing, I'm already thinking about that spot tonight. And who's going to follow me and who I'm following and, you know, what I need to do to make that. You know, I was telling people the other day on here, I got a bunch of emails from people, you got to go back on the road. I got no material. I can't even think of fucking material right now. If you want, I'll go out there, pop 2 edibles and just go up there and be silly and charge you $40. I'll rip you, motherfucker. You forgot. These people forget I'm a natural thief. I'm a thief from the jump. If you want me to go out there and just talk shit on stage for an hour, I'll talk about the Bay of Pigs.